Hey, good morning, class. My name is Jordan Grimsley, a Flex student here at NOBTS, and I'm working on the cross-cultural conflict kind of resolution style of the one-down position, the vulnerable position, with my partner Garrick. And so, before we kind of get into what is the one-down position, I think it's wise to kind of give an example of how this might look, this idea of vulnerability might look in the West. In the West, we're a right-wrong culture, a guilt-innocence culture. And so when conflict happens in the West, sometimes we like to prove that I'm right. Let me speak to the manager yelling, I'm right, I promise I'm right. But that often doesn't actually restore the relationship. So in the West, how would we want to restore the relationship with conflict? Well, we would humble ourselves and kind of appeal to evidence allowing the other person to be right. Right? So if something happens, hey, I'm sorry, I get that you would cancel my insurance. It looks like that is what should happen. But the owner of the company actually just sent me this email that proves I still have insurance. Would you mind reinstating my policy? Right? And in that moment, I'm appealing through evidence to obligate someone to do the right decision. Their desire is to be right, and I'm giving them the opportunity to be right. And it resolves the conflict and it restores the relationship. We're friends afterwards because we both desire to be right, as opposed to proving that I'm right and they're wrong. Well, how do we do that in an honor shame culture, something that's very different thought process wise to us? Well, it's the same appeal to their desires. In the West, we desire to be right, and in an honor shame culture, they desire to be honorable. That's their desire. And so the one down position gives the person we're having a conflict with the opportunity to be honorable, opportunity to make the honorable decision. So just in the West, I'm going to humbly appeal to someone's desire to be right. In an honor shame culture, I'm going to humbly appeal to their desire to be honorable. It's a very similar situation, but it sounds so different, especially when you start getting into the nuances. But the one down position, this vulnerable position, it allows us to give the opportunity for the person we're having conflict with to resolve the conflict so that way our relationship can be restored for the sake of the gospel. And so my esteemed partner Garrick, he's going to get into some of the nuances, how this actually looks, how this might actually be applied. Feel free to follow along with our handout. You'll notice on the right side of our handout, there's a pretty lengthy example of what this might look like. And I really struggled to understand what the one down position was outside of an example. But man, once I was able to see examples of this one down, this humbling position, this appealing to their desire to be honorable, once I could see that in examples, it really came to life to me and really helped me out. So we included an example on the right side of your handout. Thank y'all. I appreciate it. And take it away, Garrick.